No, ma'am.
Yeah. So what are we doing?
So we're gonna level this out. I'm gonna start in that corner right there. So we're gonna have two beams running along here, 16 feet.
Okay, hold on.
We're gonna have two 16-foot beams running 4 feet apart. So the deck will have 2-foot overhang on each side.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start in the low corner, level that brick, put a thing in there, work my way this way, and then I'll have to dig in for these to make them level with these lower ones.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So that is a better idea than starting out on the corner because.
And trying to level the corners.
Mm-hmm.
Remember how much of a pain that was? Even though this should be a little easier. If I can get these guys level this way and long ways, the deck should just go right on top of it. It should be, as long as we square it up, it should be okay.
All right. Do you think we'll get it done before the rainy season? And we got the level.
I'll have to level this first one.
We should have brought those fence post levels.
I thought about it, but I didn't think.
But you didn't think about it.
That we'd need one. So we're almost good this way. This has got to come down.
Okay. Oh, that's good. How's that?
Pretty good.
Is it pretty good or is it good?
I mean, it's going to settle.
Yeah.
Can't ask for too much better than that.
Yeah.
So I took some crack and now I'm working super fast. But no, after we got the first one done, we're just going to do time lapse because it's super boring to just watch this over, doing the way we're doing it. But so after getting the first block, then I'm just going through, going along our line and putting down, measuring where we're putting the pavers down, getting them all nice and level. And then the thing we're doing was on the one paver that has adjustable bracket, so we can raise or lower the 6 inch by 4 inch beam that we have going across there that we got out of handy dandy farm pack in McClendon's for super cheap. Yeah. As you probably know at this point, lumber prices are super high. So yeah, we're just going through, and so where I'm standing now is a little bit more uphill than where the original beam is, the first beam is, and so I'm going through and cutting into the dirt to make it level not only long-wise, but from beam to beam.
And we have the flatter, larger pavers, and then we put the, what is that called? The concrete thingy with the brackets on it.
Yeah, I can't remember what they're called. They're kind of dome shaped. They have the adjustable bracket on the top that cups the rail goes across. I know. Yeah.
I'm really good at supervising.
And just so you know, the reason why we're doing it this way, the structure's not very big. It's not going to be that heavy, and we have so many rocks, just nothing but rock once you get down a couple inches. So in this area, it's not quite as rocky where we built the A-frame, but it's not worth trying to put tubes, drilling putting the tubes down, filling with cement, and these will work just fine. They might settle a little bit, but I'm not really worried about it. We kind of did the same thing for the A-frame, except for we leveled the ground out a lot more. Um, and the past year and a half, I don't think it's really settled hardly at all. It maybe just a teeny tiny bit, but it's not even noticeable. I mean, if we put a level on everything, it might be a hair off, but it's not. I mean, it's off grid. So we did stake off with some stakes we actually found in the hike the night before, which was pretty nice. Run string across so we knew where to put the beams. And then we are filling in around the concrete pavers. Once it's all done and level, we fill it with dirt and gravel, so it kind of builds that up so it's not going to shift or anything.
Right.
And I don't know if you'll see that, but at the end you should see that, yeah, we kind of put gravel around it, dirt around it, filled in everything so nothing will shift on us.
And that's one thing we did after we built the A-frame, because with the water, with the rain and the snow runoff, we were really worried about it. So we ended up having to go back in after we built the A-frame and put some drain rock around the footers. So we're learning.
And that was last summer. And it was really, I think it was August. It was really hot, really dusty. We hadn't put a lot of gravel down yet, but I have some videos, or I think we have some videos on those if we decided to show how hard it was just to get a giant rock that was in our way out using our small John Deere tractor. Kirsty got really good about digging around it and getting the rocks out and just dragging them out of the way.
Looks like I'm taking a coffee break.
Looks like I'm planting a garden. Here's where the beets go. Is there a faster speed?
This is what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. And then we get it lined up.
So unfortunately, you can't check my work because the camera doesn't have the zoom on it. But here I'm leveling everything and made some different tweaks, and then we bolted the sides together and then double checked. And before we started putting the what did we put on there, 2x6s for the decking, we made sure everything was level and plumb all around.
And I'll share a different video with just pictures that show more detail of our work. But this is just how we did it.
Okay, here you can see got the two end boards up for the deck, and I don't know what I'm pondering here, but I decided to put those two up first so we can make sure that they are square. So I kind of measured, I think, from the ends. Looks like we're still putting, I think maybe I measured it to make sure it was equal on both ends, screwed it down. I think I did the same on the other, and then we decided, or not decided, we checked it for how square it was, and I think it was actually really good the first time. Do you remember it being off?
Yeah. No, it was good.
So once we decided that, yes, it was square, and then we just started putting up, I think we marked the 4x6s and 2 foot on center. As you can see, it was a nice day, cloudy, cool, winds blowing. Kept the wine, it's not recording. Okay. Kept the wine portion down because I get whiny when I get hot. No, Tim, you don't. That's a lie. As you see, we just stood up in unison.
Yes.
We're
Okay, here's where we're checking for the square.
Let's get serious.
Yeah, there was my yay!
Oh, yeah.
It's perfect!
My hands are moving, so I'm explaining the meaning of life.
I'm trying to figure out why I didn't edit this out.
I don't know, Spielberg, why didn't you?
So I'm new to this, so I thought I had highlighted this section to delete it.
Maybe we should go back and do that.
Oh, no, look there. No. I think it's coming up here. Oh. So, good grief. So now what we're doing here is letting the dog in, and this is when you had me measuring and marking.
2 foot on center on the 4x6 beams.
Well, there you are. You finally came back from your break, huh?
Union mandated 15.
Oh yes. So we're going to start bringing up the front and the back boards because we have the side boards up.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. And so we had were they hurricane clips? What were those?
Mm-hmm. Hurricane clips.
Yeah, that's what I'm screwing in.
And the total structure is 8x16, so when we ordered the wood, we ordered 2 16-foot long 2x6s, just to make it easy. And of course, we measured them and trimmed them so they were exactly 16 feet. And since we had already squared up those 2 end boards, they lined up perfectly. We didn't have any issues installing them. Nobody almost got a face full of board, nothing like that.
But you know what I think is kind of funny is that this is like edited to be like fast forward times 20. So we must move really, really slow in real life.
Whatever.
I know. No wonder we don't have friends.
You didn't even comment about me not getting smacked in the face.
Because we haven't done that yet.
I know. I was saying that.
I
There's
know.
definitely nothing happened. You missed my comedic cue.
Yes. And I'm not going to be able to share that. That's going to be on a separate video.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
What the fudge?
I know. So.
I'm not
But
subscribing.
y'all
Y'all.
will have to watch it.
Yo. Turn in the hillbilly.
Oh, no one's going to make it this far.
I wouldn't. Like, what the hell are these people doing? Yeah, you get it. You put some boards up.
Yeah.
Totally for you.
But this video is just us building the deck, and we did build the deck in one day.
Believe it or not. Oh, I forgot to mention. As you can see, we threw gravel in there, all around it. So we put some of the what's the material, so nothing would grow.
Oh, the eco cloth or.
Yeah. So we originally took the tractor, scraped all the bushes because there's like 1 foot high bushes all around that like tear up your shins, your calves. Scraped that down, and then you saw where we put we set the 2 beams, and then we put the cloth down, and then we put gravel over it, so nothing would grow up underneath our floor, and filled in around the base of the blocks. God, it's like watching paint dry.
It is. It's. Look at that wind.
Yeah. 20 times makes it look a lot windier, huh?
It does, but yet we still look like we're moving really slow. Oh my god. Oh. So, I think we're getting to the end.
This just shows how much of a perfectionist we
Here
are.
we
We're taking
go.
so much time making sure everything's just right.
So here we're putting up the back deck. Layla, be quiet. The back deck, the back board, and
just like the front board.
yes, just like the front board. We're just
like
screwing everything in and getting it all secure, all that fun stuff. As you can see, we're using ratchet straps to bring the boards because the boards were warped. And you'll have to excuse Layla. She is fighting for our attention.
So yeah, that's one thing. That's a good point about the ratchet straps because the boards were warped. Wood's expensive enough, and it's 16-foot boards. They're gonna have some twist in it. It was actually Chrissy's idea because we didn't have any clamps long enough because it's 4 foot from the side of the board to the first 4x6 beam. So we didn't have any clamps long enough to do that, and we of course always have a ton of ratchet straps. So that was Chrissy's idea, and that worked really, really well. We were able to go all the way around, ratchet strap them up, got that twist out, and screw them in. So it worked really good. That was like the first of like a couple good ideas you had during that.
That was during.
You really earned your pay on that.
And so here
finally made you appreciate you.
Yeah, finally.
About time I got something ready.
Besides a lecture. Like I'm doing here. That's terrible.
Well, you are my Q&A.
I am the Q&A.
If it wasn't for you, the A-frame would look like a B.
We crack each other up. Oh, here we are checking for squareness.
Can't check for square too much. Once that's nice and square, everything else just fits right into place, especially when you're putting plywood over it. And we actually got lucky, or actually figured out what we're doing, and when we put the plywood over it, it was just everything lined up just great. Unlike the A-frame, because we had to fight that a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to put the floor joists in. 8 foot long, 2x6, already pre-cut. 2 foot on center. Yep, that's about it.
And how many of those did we put in? I can't remember.
There was so it's 16, 8, 9.
9, okay.
So 16 foot long divided by 2, and then add an extra one because there's one on each end.
And just so everyone knows, while it may appear that Tim is doing majority of this framing, I am out of frame. No pun intended. Cutting the 2x4s to length.
But you're in frame.
But I am in frame.
Yes, Chrissy runs the chop saw. We actually usually have a good system going where I measure, holler at her, she cuts it. She's very, very accurate. And you'll hopefully eventually see when we're doing the roof trusses. What I do?
Oh, nothing. This is when we were trying to...
Oh, they're starting to twist.
No, it's
right?
Too close to the ground, and we need to get them up.
Oh, that's right.
And we're trying to figure out how to get the wood up. So we can screw it into the floor joist.
Can Repeat that. I missed it.
So we can screw it.
No, before that.
We were trying to get the wood up so we could screw it into the floor joist. And so we did my side, and then Tim, we tried to brainstorm how we could do this. As you can see, I'm looking at my watch because I also monitor time and how long it takes us to do things. Apparently, I suck at that because this is fast speed, and look how slow we're moving. This can't be right. Anyway, so what ended up happening is Tim went and got that giant pry bar.
What did we get the pry bar for again?
To move our chicken coop
Oh, that's right. So,
at the house.
Yeah, so with the, I think a short story long to make, we were going to move it at our house, the chicken coop. We were going to rebuild the chicken coop and turn the chicken coop we have now into garden shed, but with the price of wood so high, we decided that we were just going to move this chicken coop that we had not planned on moving, so it was like, it was hard to move. So we had to buy this.
Heavy.
We had to buy this huge 7-8 foot long pry bar,
which is amazing
to move it. And it was good because we brought it to the property because we figured we'd have to pry rocks out of the ground and stuff, and we were able to use it to bring the 16 foot long side thing on my side there.
Look, there you're trying to use the shovel. And I'm like, that's not going to work.
No, you're like, oh, look at him.
Yes, that's...
I love him so much.
I'm going to look at my watch here in a second. Guaranteed. Look, I'm pointing. Now you go get this, and you get that, and we do this.
God darn it. Tarnation.
But that doesn't work.
I'm going to try with the clamp first. I always go to the clamps.
Did I leave that out?
No,
the one thing I'm proud of, I edited out.
Because I thought we had to do it all the way around. Oh, you see it? You can see right behind me.
Yeah.
It's stuck in the ground.
Yeah, I edited it out.
So I think you edited it out. So we used that big
you know why I edited it out? Because I was bending over with my rear end to the camera, just like I did.
Edit out my ass too.
Hey, we're like the mystery science theater.
Well, the video sure as heck isn't entertaining. So.
Right. Yeah, so we're getting close. We are so close. But we moved like sloths. So it just might take a very long time. So, here we go. Oh.
Pry bar time.
Oh. Here
that's
we
right,
go.
This is on this end.
We had to do, you were right.
You had to
You were
stand
actually
on
right
it,
there. And I was,
right up.
Look, at least I didn't put I was smart enough to turn my rear end.
Not me.
All my weight is on that. And I am like soaking wet 90 pounds.
I'm not laughing. Oh, look at that. Smooth as... Yeah. Graceful, I am not. And that's the whole thing about building on our property too. Is even though I was told it was smooth and flat,
it's very flat,
before
as
I'd even
you can see.
seen it, there is zero flatness to the whole thing. It's nothing but ups and downs and rocks, and almost have a hard time finding a place to pitch a tent.
That's a personal problem.
Yeah.
So we're just about done putting in the floor joists. Thank God. Thank you for hanging out with us throughout this video. If you've made it this far, I promise we only have like 6 more minutes to go.
This is our first time doing it, and even we're bored, so. And
I promise future ones won't be like this.
We're learning how to edit.
record.
how to edit the recording, cameras different. I mean, we just had this one camera set up here. We had
First time using it.
Yeah, first time using it. Battery ran out, so this video is going to kind of end before we get the plywood up. And the thing with the plywood is, we didn't, when we ordered it, because wood was so expensive, I don't know. I guess I didn't check it as much because we were just kind of happy that the CDX was cheaper than the OSB.
Which should have been the first indicator that
Yes.
this is not what we're wanting.
So after all this, and we put the insulation down, we put the first layer of plywood down, and we're like, yeah, this isn't right. It's spongy. So we had to actually go get a whole nother, I can't remember how many sheets of plywood, 4, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're 4 by 8.
Yeah, and just stagger them. So it was actually, they were 1/2 inch instead of like 3/4. We ended up with like an inch thick decking, but it cost us twice as much almost. So stupid, not paying attention to details.
But there was no way with anything that thin if we would have just gone with the 1/2 inch.
No.
We would have fallen through.
My fat ass would have fallen through at some point. And so, evidently, in a future video, there's a safety. Don't do what I did, because I almost ended myself in the face with one of the boards trying to ratchet strap it down. I think, is it the end one closest to us?
Yes.
Because right now we got all the boards in.
We're going through, and we have already attached them to the outer frame, but now we have to go and screw them to the
rails.
The rails that are on
the 4x6 rails, and we use hurricane straps, or not? Is it not hurricane
No,
straps?
we just screwed them into the board.
Oh, that's right. We didn't have enough.
Yeah, we're not fancy. And so now we're going to get ready to, I'm trying out this insulating sheeting just for the floor. It's just a bunkhouse, so I saw someone else do this, and I want to give it a go, because one thing is for sure, in the A-frame we did not insulate the floor, and
luckily our wood stove is way oversized for the A-frame, so if we're not careful we could cook ourselves out. We started with a smaller one,
which is going to go into the bunkhouse.
Yeah, and the thing with the small one, because it was so small, and our A-frame was so tall, that when we added the chimney length, it didn't have enough draft. It was too hard to build a fire because the chimney was too tall for that size of wood stove. So we have a lot bigger one now, and so we don't notice. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm going up.
I'm about to laugh.
Yep, there we go. Here goes, kicks to the wind, and then we lost it. And then I looked like I hammered another. So we're securing this with staple guns. The hammer kind, right? Is that what we used?
And we started out with the staple gun, and then we actually went and got
we had some
roofing
flat
nails.
roofing nails. That's right.
Yes.
Because it held it better. And we have a pneumatic staple gun that has the little green plastic discs for doing wrap.
Which works awesome.
Which we could have used, but since we're putting plywood down, since we're putting plywood down over it, I think we were just like, well, that's going to kind of, it's not going to lay flat on it. So, and one of the things building out here, there's evidently things called pack rats that they have to be, your buildings have to be pretty tight, or else you're going to get vermin in there.
Yeah, for sure.
So when we're kind of designing and doing stuff, we're keeping that in mind. That if there's a hole, caulk it, seal it. There's the vermin-proof foam that we've used. Is that poisonous to them? Or is it just they taste bad and they don't like chewing through it? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Evidently, it's vermin-proof foam. So we've used that. And we've actually had really good luck with the A-frame. We haven't had any vermin in it. So, for the most part, knock on wood. You can't leave your door open.
No, I won't go ahead. I just think there should be circus music playing.
No, I won't go ahead. But I think...
Okay.
Yeah.
We're about...
Yakety sack or something. So we're just nailing this stuff down, kind of super boring. The hammer's way too big.
Hammering very fast.
God, I remember that hammer was way too big. That's a framing hammer, and I'm like trying to nail these little roofing nails in there. It's not optimum, but it ended up working. And what you won't see is us putting the plywood down.
But I will put together a slideshow video of all the pictures that show detail that will show the deck completed. It's just we're learning. And we hope you're learning something from us too, like what not to do.
Yep. And then it's going to cut off right about.
Yeah. Right about now is when the battery dies on the camera.
Right before I did a really cool handstand.
But you missed it.